All right, well, we're extra excited today to sit down and talk speed and talk sprinting with some of you folks. So I'm Thomas Breitbach. I'm here with Spencer Agnew. We're part of Ascent Endurance Group, dedicated to trying to build folks being able to love the process of improving endurance performance across running and multi-sport stuff. And we are beyond pumped to be sitting down with Coach Moo from Top Flights. Coach Moo is just prolific, one of the Hall of Famers at UW Lacrosse, a WEAC all-time team member, and just a treasure trove of knowledge. He's the guru of Go, and we're just pumped to have him with us here today and be able to share this conversation with everybody. So.
Thank you. You have a new job as my hype man. I need that every morning. Yeah. So, just honored to be here with people as passionate as I am about just improvement, personal and group improvement. So thank you for the opportunity to talk shop with you.
Yeah, and we're hoping to do a lot more of this, kind of make this the kickoff to some bigger conversations. So today we kind of wanted to just dive into a few specific pieces of the puzzle and sort of start building that knowledge base so we can kind of expand that as we go. I guess we want to start kind of foundationally with when you're looking at tools that you use to develop speed and power. What are your go-tos, and especially ones that work well for maybe folks that are limited in terms of resources, either for time or not having space or specialized equipment? How do we still get those gains?
Absolutely. So there are some different dimensions to athleticism. So me being a sports performance engineer, some sports, like this morning I was at Hidden Glen in Cedarburg as the director of sports performance for junior golf. Use a med ball and some cones, very, very low cost. I mean, for $15 you can dramatically improve performance. Now the PGA Pro has a expensive piece of tech that measures golf, the head speed and all that, which is fine. So from a speed perspective, there's a couple different things. First of all, it's philosophy that we'll get into a little bit later. But at the end of the day, if you're not measuring, it's hard to improve what you don't measure. So you got to measure. I know Garmin gives you all kinds of tech, and you guys know that stuff.
Yeah.
I think for a kid or any athlete of any age, there's a bunch of different technologies out there. There's some stuff I can't tell you about yet with this one piece of technology. It's actually called the vert, and the vert is primarily used by volleyball programs. 85% of all Division I volleyball programs use the vert. So I'm going to show you real quick. It's like $150. You can use it to measure speed. You're not going to get splits. So for a speed nerd like myself that likes to measure, speed by meters, 10-meter increments, it won't give you that. But anything that's electronic is going to give you a little bit of an edge over hand timing.
Sure.
As soon as you take out the stopwatch, you might as well tack on 0.2 of a second.
Right.
Because that's just the virtue of hand timing. So anytime I can use technology to aid me in capturing data, I'm on it. So the vert is really great. Like I said, it's $150. You clip it on your waist. You can sprint. It'll give you some sprint data. I don't use that. I'll talk about what I do use in a moment. However, what we use the vert for is, you guys look at it. It's tiny,
Right.
And there's a clip that you just clip on. But we use it to measure vertical jumping. So anyway, it's really good. It's basically an accelerometer, and it just measures how high you jump. So I've had athletes exceed 30 inches with a double leg hop. So the biggest, so if, let's say you don't want to spend a chunk of money on a vert, no big deal. I would just say get cones, and if you're, if you want to run fast, you have to run fast. You can't run slow to run fast. Just, if I want to be a good cook, I'm not gonna, I don't know, go jump in a boat or so. I mean, I need to do something that is connected to where I'm trying to go. So anyway, I'm a short distance person for reasons that I will get into later. So, you could go to a track, set up some cones. I want to say on the infield, for like the 100-meter, 110 hurdle area, they've got the marks. It's marked. Yeah, it's about it's like 9. Yeah. But it's almost 10. Set up cones. And so I guess this will be a good quick segue. So let's just talk about speed for a second. Okay. A lot of people think they know they think they know what speed is, but so this is my working definition. So when we talk about speed, you're doing one of 3 things: you're accelerating, you're at your top end speed, or you're decelerating. Whether you're running, 50 meters or a 50K, you're doing one of those 3 things over and over and over again. So with that said, I guess. I would say mark off about 30 meters, 40 meters, and then you sprint. You have to decelerate slowly. You can't hit the brakes. It's how you get injured. So you could mark off 30 to 40 meters and then put another area, and that'll be your deceleration zone. I got that idea from Darren Shepherdson. He's the legendary coach over on Alaska High School, coached so many great middle distance athletes. But anyway, so you can just set up some cones and get a timer, or you sprint, walk back, sprint, and that's even though you don't have the metrics, you're still doing quality work.
Right. Yeah.
And so Mark Guthrie was my head coach, 23 national championships, actually 22 with UWL and 1 with the Badgers. But anyway, years ago he said, look, you only need to do speed training twice a week. So it should be quality, but you can just find 2 days, not back to back, put in the work, and that's important. The other aspect to speed, is, so you've got acceleration, you've got your sprint mechanics, and then you've got max velo, which is your top end speed, and we'll talk about that at some point. And then there's another dimension to speed, which is called repeat sprint ability. So anyway, that's getting faster on a budget. Just get some cones, find an area where you can do some short sprints, and I think you'll be in good shape.
Going off of that, so you mentioned like measuring is super, super important.
Yep.
So what if you have an athlete who's out there by themselves, they've got some cones set up, and they're going to go out and do the sprints, but they can't measure it themselves?
Right.
What sort of things are they taking away? What sort of cues? Is it just putting in quality work, or is there something that they need to really be intentional and focused on without having that feedback from the metrics that they're measuring?
Yeah, that's, so there's 2 dimensions to anything. There are feels and facts.
Right.
So, the fact is I might feel fast, like last year DK Metcalf chased down the guy, and everybody lost their mind. Oh, football players, they're so fast. They should be in the Olympics. Yeah. And so that was feels, right? And then the fact was, how'd he do when he ran? Now, we can say, yes, he was 30 pounds heavier than the next person, but y'all said he was fast.
Yes. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, he was not he didn't even make finals out of his heat. So there's track fast, or there's fast, and then there's feel fast, So anyway, you're right. It's hard. You guys do Miracle Miles, right? The whole concept of you run a mile as fast as you can, right? Every once in a while, I've heard that's been a a way of measuring speed for distance athletes, right?
Yeah.
So once a week you run a magic mile, not miracle mile, magic mile, right? You can correct me.
Do a baseline.
Yeah, baseline, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know how again, if a kid has a Garmin or something like that, they could do that. If all you have is someone with a stopwatch, maybe that's what you do.
Right.
It's hard. It would be nice if there was a way for people to come in and check in your relative speed every once in a while.
Right.
Well, again, check back with me in a couple months, and I might have something for you that's relatively affordable. So, how I capture speed. Right now I'm using a free lap timing system, Swiss made, Olympic grade. It's it's electronic. So I just stand there, and the kids know how fast they run before I do. They're telling me, and all I do is take the data and throw it in the spreadsheet, and encourage them, like, hey, that was really fast, or hey, let's work on getting out the gate quicker. So improving in the acceleration phase. So there are just some limitations, but again, and I don't know why Garmin or some of these other companies don't have something to capture short sprints that would be very informative. In fact, they're actually ignoring part of the demographic. Why not have a Garmin? I don't know the name of the company, Jakulu or whatever.
Koros.
Yeah, Koros or whatever.
Yeah.
That you can just put on. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's not the best.
Right.
If you run, let's say you put it on and you run a 4:40, okay, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but at least if it's consistent, then it's informative.
Exactly.
It's informative.
It's informative.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I guess the worst case scenario, right, is you find a buddy. You bring some friends to the track
Absolutely.
so that you guys can get each other's splits. So that's
right.
And we all want to run with friends, so you might as well go out and find somebody else, convince them that this is valuable and important, and have a buddy. Otherwise, that's the hard thing that I struggle with. Like, okay, am I going to go to the track and just do some flying 40s, but I'm not going to know. I feel super fast, but I have no data. I can't prove that it was faster than last time.
Oh, I agree. And actually, what we do at Top Flight, there are times where I do individual sessions and I capture data. However, I'm incredibly fortunate to have some great families to work with. The kids, we do speed clinics. In fact, we're doing one this Sunday where I got 5 of my fastest kids, and they're all going to be there, and they all push each other, and it's a positive competition. It's hey, if you run faster than me, I'm happy for you, but I'm also gunning for you.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that you draw off that synergy. So anyway, yes, if you could, hey, I'll time you, you time me, and at least, and like you said, you have the camaraderie, you have that social connection. I'm crazy, so I don't mind training by myself, but I totally get it. So no, that was a good question. I just really feel like if you're serious about training, there's a little bit of a cost, and it is disappointing because it makes it about money to a degree. But see, I don't know how much Garmin's go for, but I mean, the floor is probably like $150. To get some tech. However, if it informs your training, if you think about it, what's 0.2 of a second worth? It's a ton. I mean, it's a difference between qualifying for state, qualifying to make it to finals, to it's not time based, but numbers based. My freshman year in college, I missed second place at nationals by 2 centimeters. I mean. It stinks. I wish I could have had that. But anyway, so that's huge from a time standpoint, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, even stretching up, I know in the 1500, your 5th year, it was less than 0.2 of a second.
Less than 0.2 of a second qualified me for the first round NCAA. It's
Right.
In
that's huge.
In a 1500, that's even crazier if you get down into the shorter events.
But the 1500 is a sprint.
It's a sprint.
Right. I mean, honestly, in the way you guys are running now, I don't even know, like I said, my partner runs a 55K. That's not a sprint. But I really feel like even to the 10K now, they're flying. You know, athletes are just, I mean, it's speed is the common denominator.
So this is